Hey everybody, and welcome back to the live stream. This is a special live stream. It's going to be a bit of a fun one. Here we are on the 20th of December in good old New Zealand down under. I know it's probably the 19th up in the Northern Hemisphere still, but thought we'd have a bit of fun. Will pDAI peg start on Christmas Eve? A little conspiracy theory out there posted by somebody on X. I thought it would be fun to look at that, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Anyway, no one really knows the future, but you never know. Richard's always got some little fun signals sometimes, so very, very exciting, and we're going to play around with that. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. Get into the chat there to let us know your theory on things if you've been following up on that. We're going to check out some of the content around pDAI and things like that. So yeah, get in there. If you've heard any good theories, any good ideas around that, let us know. We will look at a lot of the pDAI tokens. It's kind of a special show just to look at that. Will pDAI peg start on Christmas Eve? Now, will it happen all very quickly? Will it happen in incremental stages with collateralization? We shall see. So it's going to be fun to talk about that. I know many of you have probably been pretty keen on the P maker theory and pDAI. That's been a very popular topic, obviously. Let's have a quick look at Susan chat there. We've got Brendan in the house there. Howdy, super. Good to see Brendan, one of our moderators in the house, and TA Guru. Good to see Brendan. We got Trucks in the house there. What's up, you all? Good to see you, Truck. And I hope you're doing well there. Let's get into it without further ado. Let's cover some of the things that's happening. So this theory, will pDAI peg start on Christmas Eve? We're going to check it out. Let's go and have a look at that one. So Richard Hart posted this out just the other day. Was it the 16th? So that's a few days ago now, about 3 or 4 days. Gas was 75 cents a gallon in Die Hard, says Richard. Obviously reflecting some of those things. Now it's $3, right? $3, right? You know, so crazy stuff there. 75 cents a gallon in the movie Die Hard. Now it's $3. That's a 4x. Why? Because they print dollars out of thin air like a joke. Bitcoin was invented to solve the problem and is the best performing asset in history of the known universe. So how about that? Bitcoin was invented to solve the problem and is the best performing asset in history of the known universe. Its market cap is over $2 trillion. So that was from Richard Hart, the founder of PulseChain, and Hex, of course. Truck says, Hex token, where have you been? I've been on a trip, and also had a lot of stuff on. So I've changed my routine a little bit here on the show. But I have streamed twice this week already. So back streaming again, probably about every 2 days or so. Brent says, I'm all for the Christmas pegging. Yeah, a lot of people would be looking forward to that. Now, there's a lot of growing momentum behind this theory of the pDAI maker theory. So definitely gaining more traction. And recently we've seen a lot of those tokens pump quite strongly. So probably no surprise there. All right, so that is the catalyst for this theory. So let's go into it around will pDAI peg start on Christmas Eve. Now, we had this post by one of the three, I guess, leaders in the pDAI community. This is pDAI Daily, pDAI Maxi, posting a thread, as it were, about the pDAI maker theory there. And this character here, Arnie, says, I like how all the pDAI guys just ignored RH's, Richard Hart's Die Hard 988 post. The movie takes place on Christmas Eve. So this is where the basis of the theory is. And in it, Hans Gruber wants to steal bearer bonds. Richard Hart could have picked any random movie with gas prices in it. So this is the theory there. The bearer bond or bearer note is a bond or debt security issued by a government or business entity, such as a corporation. As a bearer instrument, it differs from the more common types of investment securities in that it is unregistered. No records are kept of the owner or the transaction involving ownership. Whoever physically holds the paper on which the bond is issued is the presumptive owner of the instrument. This is useful for investors who wish to remain anonymous. So there we go. And pDAI responded there. Lovely. So some pretty crazy stuff there. We also had this video here posted by Explosive Diary, and I'm not sure if you guys will hear this, but we might as well play it and let me know if you can hear the sound. Yeah, so you guys can't hear that sound. They can't sound, but it's just talking about liquidity providing over on Pulse Chain, and whether some of the stable coins guys would try to pull using their God mode keys to pull those tokens. So it's going to be interesting. And would people sue them for doing it? So some interesting stuff there. Matt the Brat says, I don't think anybody ignored it. Did you see the posts? Every RH post doesn't have to have a secret call out to pDAI. Lol, says Cryptomance. Looks like a reference to privacy, something Richard Hart seems passionate about. So you got different perspectives there, stretching the stretch. Exactly. It seems pretty obvious coming from Richard Hart. It's hard to interpret it as anything other than pDAI beginning sometimes around the 25th. The day he posted it was 9 days into Christmas. The gas sign 910. Feels like the Grinch that stole Christmas at the moment. Breadcrumbs, says Mr. Moas there. So you got lots of different views on that in the thread there, responding to that post. Anyway, so let's get into some of the cool things that's been posted recently. We've obviously had a lot from these the leaders in the sort of the community, as it were, from pDAI there, posting out around the pDAI savings rate, all these different charts around how Maker will work, how it will get pegging, and all the related tokens. So we're going to jump through a bit of that and go to the actual tokens that I've got in the list here for pDAI. So we've got a couple of things going on here. We've had Compound. Some of them have very small liquidity, so just take them into account. You have to find maybe there's other peers, but these are the kind of the main ones I've found. So we got the main one, right? So we got obviously pDAI is the one of attention at the moment. That is the one that people are looking for, the great pegging along with USDC, USD Tether, and things like that. These all speculative stables, as we call it. Let's have a look at the chart overall of pDAI. We can see it's at 1.866 cents. Its previous high here has been 3.4 cents back here on the 29th of November. So that's a few weeks ago. And it also had another go at it at 12th of December here. So it's holding up pretty well, actually, if you think about it. 1.866 cents at the moment. So obviously the community is growing behind it. Then there's quite a few influencers behind it as well. And of course, these 99 Capital and others that are pushing, sort of giving leadership and guiding that forward as well. So this is kind of the pDAI chart there on the daily. Let's have a quick look here on the weekly, just to bring that into view. That's the weekly chart for pDAI. So a pretty impressive chart, as we can all agree. And it's finding new highs and new lows. So we had this low at 1300 of a penny, and now we have moved right past here to 3.4 cents. Previous high was just under a penny there, 9300 of a penny back in April. So things are really starting to move here for the pDAI theory. What's that? Still another what do you say, 50, probably 60x in there to get the peg, something like that. So still a lot of upside from that point of view. Some people are saying, well, why not $2 pDAI, $2 pDAI? Well, it's an interesting theory. So anyway, so that is kind of the play there on the pDAI at the moment. Obviously, with the pDAI, they had this community set up this website, pulsemaker.win, and they had a poll on the polling. Now, whether Richard would need this at all is another question. You can debate that yourself. But in any case, they did a community vote. People holding the tokens Maker token got to vote on this, and obviously there were some interesting comments in some of the bigger voters that had quite a bit more Maker. And of course, there's been a lot of different tokens minted in the ecosystem, so it's been pretty interesting. So we had some of these accounts here, some of the bigger ones here, voting with a couple hundred P Maker there, had voted, and we had sort of seen some interesting things here. So 244C had voted with 249. I'm not sure if this is I think this is the one with the comments, but we had some interesting ones with comments to help make the world a better place and test the system, of course, was some of the comments there. Let's have a look at some of the other ones there. 1DF3 had a vote with 210 P Maker. And let's have a look at any comments on there. I'm just trying to find the actual address. I think it might be 98. We'll have a look there. It's taking a little while to load for some reason. I haven't got that much open, so it's a bit weird. Processing. So No comments found to that one, but nevertheless, they've put quite a few votes in there for the yes. So go back one more. I've got this 98 one. Might be this one here, 200 pDAI. So have a quick look. Been a few weeks since I looked at this, or a couple of weeks or whatever it is. Who else we got in the chat there? Wookie says you tricked the Wookie, says Wookie. It did indeed. Got Wookie good today. John May in the house. Hey, good to see you, John. Hope you're doing well. So let's have a quick look. I think there's one. Has it got any comments? pDAI $1. There we go. pDAI $1 poll. What else have we got? Maybe it's this one here, 123. We had one of these poll. One of the people posted for glory and love was the phrase. That's kind of what I'm looking back for. So this is the poll, and it got unanimously passed, of course. Yeah, so I can't find the exact comment there at the moment. Can't remember the account actually. But that is the poll. Obviously got passed there. Proposal to add core Polstrand coins to vault collateral, November the 21st there. And then we were expecting something on the executive tab, right, to start moving to this beginning. So we'll see if anything does pop up there. Not sure whether Richard Hart would actually need that, but we will see. We will see whether that is going to play a role at all. It is public, so maybe that is useful. Maybe useful a mechanism for doing that. So yeah, pDAI Maxi there doing some pretty interesting things. Will we actually see this let's call it conspiracy theory or potential signal from Richard Hart there, get whether pDAI will start its beginning or peg on the Christmas Eve. It's going to be interesting to see if that plays out. Now, obviously, we've got a couple of these guys, big proponents of the pDAI maker theory. Obviously, the price chart looks pretty compelling, but it's still a while away to get to that $1. So yeah, pDAI is inevitable, says pDAI Maxi. Is 99 Capital, and we got this big picture of this maker set up here, giving you all the architecture of the maker and how it would be pegged, and all the security, all different tokens and stuff like that would be issued in terms of yield and collateralization. So lots of different things there. The last one that did come out was on the 23 hours ago, and it did talk a little bit about the setup there. The CDP manager set stability fees for pMaker, the interest rate paid by borrowers, stability fees pay stakers in the pot, DSR, as well as pMaker holders. Why aren't stability fees negative to attract single-side staking to back pDAI? So just one thought there from 99 Capital. It's got the setup chart there. Currently have 23 billion pDAI issued and little collateral backing it. We are charging collateral provides interest to add collateral to back pDAI. Why would they back our stablecoin unless they get paid to do so? They won't. So why can't we incentivize them is the idea. And of course, if we switch stability fees to negative, like a negative 10%, and pay collateral providers to add to pDAI maker vaults, asset backing pDAI would rise. This would require turning the minting of pDAI off at an individual level, a vault level, and managing issuance at the aggregate level. At the same time, increasing the DAI savings rate, that's the DSR, to 10% would encourage pDAI holders to stake in the pot, reducing pDAI supply. Collateral providers to pMaker win and stakers of pDAI win. So that's the idea there, getting both pDAI and Maker off the market and collateralizing it through incentives. As this grows, collateral backing pDAI would rise over 150%, key for that beginning, and that is where it lands. So how are the rewards paid? They are minted in pDAI at the aggregate level. So there is an initial dilution needed to pay people to collateralize vaults. pDAI and Maker effectively become proof of stake ecosystems. Post-peg stability and DSR can be reset. Hex operates by diluting those that don't stake in the network to supporting its functioning, and it rewards those who stake and strengthen its ecosystem. RH would stake Hex, Pulse in the pMaker. So that would be the big triggering event when the collateralize and get pDAI going, as well as these interest rate incentives. We all would feedback. So we all would. In other words, not just Richard and the OA, which controls, I can't remember last time, was it 93% or something like that of Pulse, and about 87% last time I remember from PulseX. So if those numbers are still relatively true, obviously we've had burning and other things going on. since the beginning, but that's what I recall being the sacrifice amounts. We all would. Feedback welcome. Who loses in the scenario? Everything stated above seems possible within the current PMaker docs. I've been fixated on getting Maker and pDAI to work like they do on Ethereum. What if RH wants to redesign a better system? That's a pretty important part there. And that incentivizes the system to work better to ensure the peg. Here is some reading for the CDP manager. pDAI to $1 is inevitable, and its path is becoming a lot clearer, both with an instant peg by RH collateralization. So that would be the instant peg scenario. Obviously, there's two main scenarios: an instant peg and a sort of an incremental peg. And of course, whether RH does it alone or whether the market participates as well, or a combination of both at some stage, maybe RH moving first, obviously, as well as within a tokenomic structure that incentivizes everybody in crypto to help as well. So you wonder, well, if people suddenly got super wealthy because of Richard's pegging, wouldn't that just be a big sell fest? Well, if you're incentivizing a lot of other market participants to participate, which seems like a smart way to go about it, then that would be pretty huge. Now, obviously, the OA wallet is ginormous and could end up, minimizing any movement in prices, given how big it is. No one's bigger than it in terms of whale movements. So that is kind of some of the cool latest updates from there. Let's have a look at who else has jumped in here with some comments. We've got Wookie with a little picture there. We got Fast Abdul in the house. I saw Fast Abdul on a Titanix video or something the other day. So a big shout out there, and I appreciate the gift of you. I gift you my Vietnamese dong, says Fast Abdul. Merry Christmas. Hey, Merry Christmas to you, and of course everyone else watching as well. And thank you very much for your very kind gift there. Vietnamese dong. Brendan's in the house there says maybe 74 cents a gallon references the price target for pDAI on Christmas. That'd be cool. That's another way of looking at it. I like that. And Brendan says, when pDAI. Hey, you're just encouraging Fast Abdul to launch a token like that now. Everyone always wants my dongs, says Fast Abdul. Now, we are a family channel, so just remember, even innuendos are generally not something we like to promote. We got Brendan in the house there. Hey, Brendan. Yeah, Brendan loves that stuff. We got Crypto Fury in the house there. Hey, Crypto Fury, hope you're doing well. Hello. Good to see you. And yeah, we're just having a little bit of fun looking at the pDAI pegging. Obviously, you can't argue too much with the chart. The chart itself is saying that pDAI is moving up and to the right. So whatever your thoughts are on the P-maker theory, well, the price chart is definitely doing something pretty amazing. So there we go at the moment. Just under 1.9 cents at the moment. Will there be some sudden pegging to $1? Will it be incremental? When will it be? The time frame? Is it going to start on Christmas Eve? All these things, are pursuing. So let's see what happens there. Now, obviously, what's the big benefit of doing that? Obviously, you're gonna flood. You can impact Pulse Coin, right? Which let's call it the Magic Cartwright impact Pulse Coin. You can lift the whole ocean on Pulse Chain, and therefore all other assets with the ratios held constant, right, between the altcoins on Pulse Chain, top PRC20s, and all the other projects. And or number two, you can flood the system with a pegging of DAI, the speculative DAI to $1, and then fundamentally push up all the amount of economic energy over on Pulse Chain and revalue the chain. So there's two main ways of pumping the whole of Pulse Chain, and it happens very quickly. And you're talking about tens of billions of dollars suddenly appear. So it could be quite a Christmas and certainly quite a 2025. Now, that would be the ultimate play for glory for Richard Hart. And of course, the Magic Cartwright, they're playing out pretty well. Now, Magic Cartwright's been up and down the last couple of times. So we're talking about the ETH that's that's part of this whole let's put it major pieces of pieces on the chessboard is the Magic Cartwright Ethereum, and of course it's about 171,000 Ethereum. It's been moving up and down percentage wise, so I think it was up like 2-3-4% the other day, which is like $30 million or something. It goes down 20 million, up 20 million. So that's also a key part there. What could that be used? Could it be used for the Pulse Chain side to lift the Pulse theory, or could it be used to peer up on the Ethereum side, helping bridge over the Polstrand side of pDAI Maker. So there's lots of interesting things happening there. Woogie says this is a fun stream. yeah, I know. So that is pretty much it on the pDAI Maker. Let us know in the chat there if you guys have heard anything that you think is of particular importance. So there are other guys that do run the pDAI Maker. We've obviously got 99 Capital here in play. Let's have a quick look through a few other of his posts and threads there. 18th of December, pDAI is starting to look a lot like another token RH graded. When you understand Chi, you understand POT and DSR. There is a Christmas pie in there too. pDAI pegging to $1 is inevitable there. So we've got a few charts here: Chi growth versus DSR stability over time. And we've got what else? We've got the total supply of DAI over time in billions. So yeah, we had this May 23 there. It started off pretty low, 5 billion, and then got pushed all the way up to 20 billion. Pretty interesting moves there, and hummed along there. Got to August, September 2023, then started getting printed out. Flatline pretty much there, turned off there until September 24, and then started being printed again. So now we're sitting over 23 billion in pDAI. The other one, of course, is total supply of, what is this one? Total supply, hard to read this one. Total supply in billions and Chi over time. And so that Chi's gone up over time there. What was it? Total supply, billions, yeah, of DAI. So that's just mapping the two together. Now this Jay says, hi Nine, could you please elaborate a little on pDAI and how it would be beneficial if it's redeemable 1-for-1 for staked pDAI, and if staked DAI would then be liquid, or would it have big slippage because of low liquidity in most Polstrand assets? PUSD DAI, so staked DAI there, can be minted with pDAI. There's a liquid stake version of directly adding collateral to the pot. Price of staked DAI would be DAI plus DSR. Converting pDAI into stake DAI adds to the pot, but it allows for you to trade that stake if needed without unstaking out of the pot. Now, you guys if you've done staking with Rocket Pool or anything like that, then anything like that, then you would be or Lido or something like that, you'd be familiar with stake versions as well, and that you can actually trade those stake tokens that you get. They're kind of your ownership tokens for staking. Your Ethereum, for example. So that's kind of the illusion there. So a couple more questions. What else there? What does the Chi stand for again? Chi is a unit of account to calculate the cumulative impact of the DSR on that has on your staked pDAI in the pot. So that DSR being that savings rate. So interesting stuff there. So that's a couple of comments on that one. Let's see what else we got there. 17th of December. We had this thread. The pDAI savings rate, which is paid from the pMaker pot, is the focus point on chain. The VAT is the accounting layer of pMaker. There are two ways to get the VAT to read $1 to peg pDAI. RH can collateralize the vaults. So if you're wondering how that happens, RH can collateralize the vaults, and all pDAI holders can stake in the pot. So this is what we're talking about. Is it going to be an additive thing? Probably is my guess. So we've got these other tokens, right? CDAI, SDAI, stake DAI there, a Chai. We've got the user there, and they can join, exit, and drip into the pot. They got the move there to the VAT. What else there? Officially, some reading. Here are some references that are worth understanding. So if you want to get into the Maker DAO contracts, you can check that out. In fact, I might post a link to that if you guys want to check out the technicals on that. Let's have a look here. We got a couple other there. We got Vault says 15 whales watching, says Vault. That's funny, man. 15 whales watching. I like that. Hey, good to see Vault in the house. We got Brennan in the house there. I think SDAI is yielding 70% at the moment. Really? I think SDAI is, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, wow. This will increase when pDAI rises. Absolutely. Good observation there. And there's some more details there from 99 Capital. And, of course, the staker Maker contracts. We want to get in behind the technicals. These charts are pretty good, though, aren't they? The charts are pretty good. The pot is important as all the liquid staking and lending pools come off it. It is effectively where pDAI that collateralizes the VAT is stored. It is important to note that a user can stake directly into the pot via the Polstrand scan. So obviously directing with the contracts there. The pot pays out the pDAI savings rate. The DSR incentivizes holders of pDAI to stake into the pot that effectively works as another way to defend the pDAI's peg. DSR is currently set at 1%, but this can easily be increased by a governance vote. Well, that's a little different from the rate that you've got there, Brendan. So let me know what your difference is there. At this point, it is worth mentioning Chi, which is, or Chai, I guess you might say, which is PMaker's internal accounting function to ensure that DSR interest is paid, just like how Hex T-share functions. So that's your Chi, right? That's your Chi. You can read all about it here. So they've got some more details there as well. They've got the ideal rate, the actual rate, so bouncing below that. Increasing the DSR is designed to improve peg stability. It attracts more capital into the pot and effectively bolsters the VAT to show that more collateral is available to defend the peg. It reduces leverage. The DSR manager can be found here. So why is this important? Let's say that 50% of pDAI holders decided to stake in the pot overnight. Assume pDAI is 2 cents. The VAT would show 245 million in collateral in it and 470 million pDAI outstanding. pDAI would be 50% collateralized and a pDAI floor would be set at 1 cent. Crazy, says pDAI Maxi. Number 7, this all begs the question, what does the DSR have to be to incentivize pDAI holders to stake 5%, 8%, 15%, etc.? Sky on Ethereum has talked about all kinds of DSR increases. The proposal to increase to 12.5% there. So maybe that's what you're reflecting on there, Brennan. All right, so it is it is worth noting that I don't know if Chai, SDAI, CDAI are broken, so I cannot recommend staking there. It's also important that you don't need to buy these tokens as they are minted. Very important to take into account, whether your tokens being minted out in a big way or not. What I can see is that staking directly into DSR looks interesting and easy. Lastly, a poll that what yield would entice pDAI holders to stake into the pot. Remember, staking would considerably improve our ability to progress the pDAI peg while awaiting for benevolent executive vote. And that comes back to this vote here on this executive page, right? Waiting for this, whether RH or whoever's behind all this move, you can decide is going to do that, is going to use this executive page on this public site that had the previous vote, right, to peg, to use Richard Hart tokens to collateralize pDAI. Staking will considerably improve our ability to progress the pDAI peg while awaiting a benevolent executive vote on Hex PulseX. PMaker vote holders, please vote too. And of course, we had 15%. No kidding. Everyone's always going to have a higher yield, particularly 15%. So what is appropriate though for pegging? That's probably another question. If your yield's too high on a relatively fixed sort of low risk, relatively low risk. And it's all speculative at the moment, but relatively low risk in the future. Once you've done it, let's see where the interest rate would lie. Would it be sub 10%, for example, or 5% even? It's typically a more of a riskless investment rate. Hodlonomics there. So another one in the mix there says great education. Thank you always. So would this be why Richard Hart waiting until Spark was live to fork, allowing stake DAI to be implemented on PulseChain? Stake DAI is already live on PulseChain. It is interacting with the pot, and people are minting it today. Its contract has not been validated on PulseChain scam, but what I can see is it's working normally. Things like stake DAI and pChai liquid staking options. Thanks. I guess that's what I'm saying is RH waiting to fork until 2 days after stake DAI went live. Well, that no pSDAI can exist, right? It was well timed on his side, says pDAI Maxi. So some cool stuff happening there in terms of those threads. 16th there, we had obviously the weekly pDAI chart tells us everything. Now we've been looking at that, right? So the weekly pDAI chart looks pretty damn good, doesn't it? 1.9 cents. So some pretty crazy stuff happening there. Was that 13th there? We had a lot of these tokens. The 13th, we've got all these tokens in here. pDAI on-chain activity has skyrocketed. PMaker vaults using Wrap Bitcoin working again. We saw Wrap Bitcoin, of course, on PulseChain get up to what, $2,480 or something like that. Pretty awesome, right? Pretty awesome. AMM used the automatic market maker bot there, used PComp to raid PMaker. Now we've looked at comp, right? So let's go back to the charts again and have a look at some of these PMaker charts, right? So we can see that compound ether, C ether, has rallied. Now some of these have very small LPs, which is really small, like $263. But of course, you can pump that to all high, high gates there once you get a bit of FOMO, a bit of frenzy on. So it will be interesting to see some of these very low LP pulls with tokens, see what happens with them. So very speculative, but it's going to be fun to see. Now some of these other pools have slightly better LPs, like Balancer on Pulse Chain. It's got 49K. So I mean, this is small retail stuff, but you can pick yourself up a position and fingers crossed and see where that goes. Remember that if we go to the system info here on pulsemaker.win, we can actually see the LP liquidity. We've got Balancer, Compound, Uniswap, Aave, Sushi, got some Maker liquidity in there, and the system info as well. It's got the amount of Maker tokens in the Chief contract, so that's the Master Chief contract there, governing proposal as well. Total pDAI in existence looks like it's a little bit higher there, 24.4 billion, and the pDAI debt ceiling there set at 25.8. So presumably you can't mint past that amount at the moment. We've got Anita in house. Hey, Anita, good morning to you. Welcome. And Larry as well. Yo. Good to see you, Larry. Hope you're doing well. Now, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, smash the like button. We are streaming on 3 channels, Superman Crypto, Hex Token, and Pulse Chain X. So over 10,500 subs. So join the family. Now, if you haven't gone to our Discord, links in the video description. We've got the Pulse Chain Hex Discord, $5 a month, private Discord. We've got everything in there, including Crypto Helpline. And if you want to go next level, we've got a Strategy Club, $35 a month, really good value. We pump tons of intel and updates through there. So join up today. Pretty cool. The links in the video description. All right, so what else we're going to get into? We're going to jump back in here, have a look at some of these other tokens. So we've got USDC. So we've got pDAI, right, at 1.9 cents. We've got USDC also at 1.9 cents. Remember when USDC was lagging behind pDAI? Well, not anymore. It's up at the same level. The other one that we had, and I don't have it here, is USD Tether. It is actually on this list, but sometimes Deck Screener drops them off for some reason. I have no idea why it does that, but it's dropped off there, USD Tether. We've got some of these other ones, though. We've got Compound itself. We've got C ETH as well, so Compound ETH. That's this one, the small LP. Be interesting to see whether some of those move on the underlying asset, right? So we've got Compound there. Itself is at 80 cents. That is pretty much flat today, just down very slightly. But let's have a look at that chart. So this chart's looking pretty damn good too. Bounced off 45 cents. Previous high was back here on the 5th of December, up at $1.14, and now at 80 cents there. Did make a high today though of $1.04. So volatile. Just remember that. But it's Compound. This is the fork copy, of course, on Pulse Chain. Is part of this liquidity lineup here, and also in pDAI Maxi's commentary here as well. So PMaker vaults using wrap Bitcoin are working again. And we've got pDAI continues to be minted, but why? So little questions around there. These guys are still working out some of the stuff there. So let's go. I think I have pDAI on the list, don't I? No, I've got ADAI on the list, but I don't have pDAI. So I'm pretty sure it's on the list, but it's dropped off probably is the case. What's happening there? So yeah, we've got pDAI there. PComp started pDAI DPEG. It's repair the last item before the repegging. So some questions asked there. Firstly, to start with the wrap Bitcoin, the 205 wallet is the first wallet to mint pDAI using the wrap Bitcoin in the Maker Vault since July 2023. Here's the PMaker Vault being set up and used. So going right back into July last year with the original setup there. You can find the 205 wallet here, setting these things up. The 205 wallet has been using CUSDC version 3. It's notable that the same wallets running pDAI PMaker are also operating here extensively right now. The Compound pool PC USDC V3 is here, so they're providing evidence to all that. The surprise was that RH was the first person to interact with the USDC V3 when Pulse Chain launched, as he used it to raid the Maker contract with the AMM initially. So it's the automatic market maker bot that did all the setup for PulseX at the beginning with all the different trading pairs there. He minted pDAI and a PUSDC. So he minted pDAI and PUSDC. Here are the transactions at the beginning. And just so we're all clear, the 86FF wallet from above was automated market maker bot used to launch Pulse Chain. This is categorically Richard Hart, so they know that for a fact. The two transactions above are him minting. So people are using Richard Hart, but it's the team setting up Pulse Chain. So you can decide what phrasing you want to use, but that's kind of the generic phrasing, I guess. The two transactions above are him minting pDAI and PUSD using comp on day one of launch. I'm still exploring pDAI. Now, I don't think I have pDAI on my list. I'm pretty sure I added it, but it's not showing up. pDAI, and note it is rising supply, has no bearing on pDAI. Do your own research. This increase could be associated with resetting leverage ratios in the lending pools, and they are using flash loans to do this. The same benevolent wallets are working together on it. So we already know those wallets from when what they call the original block of Pulse Chain when it was set up there. They have the Genesis block, has these addresses inside it. So like the accounting address in AMM, things like that. To conclude, PComp was the protocol RX used to reset pDAI when Pulse Chain launched, and it is probably the last protocol to be fixed before the pegging. Seeing the vaults work is huge. pDAI is interesting if minting stops. It hasn't. Just remember that with the pDAI, pDAI to $1 is inevitable. So coming back to comp there, we can see that comp is doing pretty well at 82 cents. So it could be an interesting move on the old comp one there. Let's quickly go and have a look at how much LPs in the pool there. Got 11,646 comp in the pool there. I'm not sure where they're going to be able to find the contract. Let's see if we can. There, it's been blocked there by my security. But it'll probably be fine on your scan. It just pulls up the Pulse Chain scan. I'm still exploring pDAI, so we got up to that point there. To include, PComp was the protocol RX used to reset pDAI when Pulse Chain launched, and it is probably the last protocol to be fixed before the pegging. Seeing the vaults working is huge. pDAI is interesting if the mint stops there. So pretty interesting stuff there. These things are moving very quickly at the moment. pDAI to $1. So will that play in? Will that play into this kind of theory that Christmas Eve might be with Richard Hart's post? Might be the ticking time bomb there for the pDAI. Be interesting to see. Now we've definitely seen Richard way back in 2020 on New Year's Eve for Hex. If you remember, there was this big giant wick candle on New Year's Eve. So is it Christmas Eve this time? Going to be a bit of a signal. We shall see. Larry O says bearer bonds are no longer legal where I live. Since the mid-1990s, the OECD caused them to be illegal, says Larry. Nice insight there. But for the analogy, it still works, right? So the analogy, it still works because you create it in crypto, you create stuff out of nowhere, and it runs DeFi. So yeah. So some interesting stuff happening there. Let us know in the chat there if you guys have seen anything else as well. Now, I did note that Bitcoin has been pushed down to like 97, 98K at the moment. Ethereum's definitely shaved off quite a bit as well. I think it's down to 3,400, something like that. So we're definitely having a bit of retrace. Christmas rally still on. That is just a nice little bit of profit taking, maybe a little bit of a bear trap on the way to Christmas glory. We've seen the Christmas rallies in every other halving year, and this year is looking no different. So yeah, be careful what you fall for. I still think we're looking very good for that Christmas rally coming up into the new year, into January. And probably rally pretty hard right through to March. Remember, Trump is coming in on the 20th of January. That's a very bullish event. We know there are forces trying to attack him and pull it down because we really dodged a bullet against the globalists, right? The other positive is that we are seeing some good things happening in the West, in Germany and France, to some degree in the UK, although UK is almost a lost cause. One would argue France is as well. Definitely France, probably even in many ways. Germany, maybe Germany's got a little bit more life in, but I saw today that they shut down their final nuclear power plant. Just the most moronic thing you could think of. And of course, they are paying the price for that, right? They're also having weather patterns which are anti-renewable. So when the wind doesn't shine and it doesn't rain, your renewables don't provide energy either. So they're in a bit of trouble there. So there's lots of different things playing out around the world, and hopefully we're moving in the right direction for the West. We've got a lot of love there from DG and Hexkin. Hey, good to see you. Big shout out. And Check My Pulse. Good evening, Hexkins. Good evening to Check My Pulse. I'm doing well there as well. So that is kind of the play there in the old pDAI theory. I think it's pretty crazy it's looking pretty interesting, right? Looking pretty interesting there with these charts. So just have a quick look at a few of the other roundups there. So we've got compound ether there, virtually no liquidity in there, but it'd be interesting to see whether this develops into something a bit more beautiful. We'll see. Balancer, of course, one of the more mainstream ones, is up 16%, 49K liquidity there. Let's have a quick look at Balancer. So we're looking at compound Balancer, and that is the chart at the moment. So not bad at all. Is 3.6 cents, but of course you are catching the top. So as long as this momentum continues, that is where we are at the moment. We've obviously talked about Wrap Bitcoin. Wrap Bitcoin has been doing amazing too. Look at that chart. Really crazy stuff. Used to be down here like 85 bucks, 130, 140 bucks. Got all the way up here on the 25th of November. This is on the weekly candles, by the way. Got up to 2,674. So I said 2,480, but it's actually higher than that, $2,674. Currently at $1,165 at the moment. So this is Wrap Bitcoin. This is the Wrap Bitcoin that's on Ethereum. So it's only a subset of the actual Bitcoin on the Bitcoin network. There's what is it, 19 and a half, what was it, about 9.5 million Bitcoin. And this is only a subset. I can't remember, it's a couple 100,000, 250,000, is it something? I can't remember the exact number. Amount of Bitcoin in existence, Wrap Bitcoin on Ethereum. But this is the copy on Postchain, and it's already valued at 1,165, got up to 2,674. Wow. Are we going to see some things happening here? Now, maybe it would. The Wrap Bitcoin could probably move even without the P-maker theory because of the Wrap Bitcoin narrative. So we'll see whether it heads up, but pretty amazing. What else there? If you go to parity with Bitcoin, it could be pretty crazy. We see parity on pDAI to $1. Then some of these protocols like Balancer and compound things it could be absolutely re-rated big time towards parity with Ethereum. It could be crazy stuff. Richard's going to do some magic, and glory has his game, as he says. So what else we got there? We got Maker itself is at $33.25. So obviously this is the one that you need to vote. So if you're voting on any of these votes here, you need for polling and thing, you need the Maker on Postchain. And here's the price at the moment. Actually, let's do the other way. This is the price at the moment. So we've got the other day. This is on the weekly candles again. We've had a couple of weeks back there on the 2nd. We had $81.50 for the Maker. That was when we were doing this vote, if I believe right, back in this vote. It is now $33. It seems to have bounced off $28. So where will it go? Certainly got a little bit of weak support here at this level with this peak back on the 4th of March. But had been all the way down here, $3.97. So still up a huge amount there. In fact, that was a pretty big mad run, wasn't it? Up to $88. That's a 20x from there. Still currently up 8.5x at the moment. So that is that. What's the pullback? Well, pullback at the moment from that peak is about 60%. So probably pretty close to a 61.8 Fibonacci there. What else we got going? So we've had a look at Balancer, we've had a look at Compound, we've had a look at Wrap Bitcoin, had a look at Maker, had a look at pDAI. We've obviously got other ones here. We've got Aave. So we've got Aave, which is this one here, and it's a derivative one, Aave Interest. So not derivative, but interest one, which is ADAI there. And that is also, so I haven't interacted with any of these contracts, so let us know if you have. But ADAI there has got $472 liquidity. So very small on these interest ones, these little exotics that are built on top of these protocols. But it'd be interesting to see whether that changes in the future. And there could be, I don't know whether there's going to be mad gains there because very little liquidity, but who knows? Something happens sometimes. If you had $20, you might have picked something up and it might, 1,000x, who knows? We'll see. But very speculative indeed. So we got, what else we got there? We've got Aave there sitting at 81 cents. Have a quick look at Aave. So it's Aave chart there. They're all pretty similar, right? They all had this big rally. Those are weekly candles, by the way, and just come back here now 80 cents, but did get up to $1.40. Not bad there on Aave. And the this interest-bearing one, Aave Interest. that is the chart there at the moment, but there's virtually no liquidity in there, so it is very speculative indeed. But you never know; sometimes these end up being the winner. You make some mad gains in there. You can have a little portfolio. You put like I'm going to put $100 and 10 bucks in each of these and see how it goes. And you never know your luck, right? So what else we got there? That's Aave. Gone through that. We've gone through Maker. What else did we Curve? Yeah, so Curve's here as well. So let's have a quick look at Curve. And that is the Curve chart. So all look pretty similar in many regards. Currently at just under half a penny, but did a couple of weeks ago, got back up to almost a cent, 9200th of a penny there with the big volume. But the volume's definitely fallen off here, waiting for the next catalyst, I guess, next excitement around pDAI. That is Curve at the moment. So we had quite a few of these. I'm still exploring pDAI. To conclude, pComp there was the protocol RX used to reset. So we talked all about that. That was back on the 13th of December from pDAI Maxi or on 9 Iron Capital here on X. Now, we had this cool chart. So if you want to see them all together, we've got pComp, Curve, and Aave. You can see on my list there that I've got, all of them here. Compound. What I said, Aave up here. So I've got all them all there matching this chart. Obviously, we've got Richard Hart tokens with the OA, Hex, Pulse, PulseX, Wrap Bitcoin. We talked about the Wrap Bitcoin. I got that on the list as well. And then, of course, PUSDC, which I got on the list. So I've got the PUSDC, which, funny enough, is the same as pDAI at the moment, which is pretty crazy. And USDC there, 1.87. So pretty much matching pDAI. Remember, they were, probably about 40-50% of pDAI. Now parity. Now the one I don't have on there is USD Tether, which I think may have dropped off or something. Then we've got P Balancer and P Maker and pDAI. So I've got all those on the list as well. So that is a pretty good chart. So if you want to have a check out of that diagram, kind of gives you a good summary of some of the tokens that are moving. And it is a fun token. It is a fun token topic there. We've got C3 Works. Yes, fun topic. It is pretty fun, and some people have made some good little profits out of it in the most recent run, and we might see some raw action there. So that is the link to that. If you want to check out that chart, maybe you add it to a list and keep a track on it. I have done that, right? So I've done that. I've called it pDAI there, and there's probably a couple that are not on here that I could add, but that is the main ones. I've got to add USD Tether back in there. Above is what I believe RX is building, says 99 Capital. You have 3 lines of defense. The OA bags collateralized pDAI as we have always thought, and it is what drives the inevitable peak to $1. Obviously, those tokens that are sitting idle for the most part, those ones there, none of this changes the path to pegging. It is all related to how we stay pegged. Number 3, so why don't I think he uses RSR? There's another token altogether. Of course, RX sold it a couple hours after buying it, and he has continued to work with Curve, Aave, and Com. So that's why those are added in there too. And since that point to show that it was just the structure that was important, our such structure is what he wants us to see. In addition, number 4, the same wallet that is whitelisted as the hat on Maker owns Comp, Curve, Balance, and Aave. So all desirable targets for people to go for, and that's why you've seen those charts rally as well. He also owns a majority of the derivatives, CDAI, ADAI, and CETH. So that's why we've got some of those on the list, right? CETH there, ADAI there. You can see down the bottom here. So that's kind of cool. RX doesn't need RSR because he can join these protocols together without it. Number 5, Balancer is used to create arbitrage across all the pools. Balancer's role is to ensure that if there are issues with one of the structures for the peg, it will accrue that value into the PSM of pMaker. It will also be able to use the PSM's USDC to back the pools if required. So there's some of the logic there. pDAI holders will be able to stake pDAI in the Aave Comp and Curve pools as they can on Ethereum. So now you're sort of seeing it all fit together, right? With all these tokens. These pools will pay yields using Balance's ARB profits to USDC and maybe USD Tether one day as well. So that's the one that's not on my list at the moment. This PUSD can be converted back to pDAI for holders to restake, and he calls that genius there. Post pDAI's peg, pMaker could add 28 billion of USDC in its PSM, up to 23 billion in pDAI and 36 billion in its USDC. So you're suddenly adding another 100 billion to Pulse Chain. It's kind of the way the logic there. Could be staked in pAave, pComp, pCurve. And RH would have 28 billion of OA bags as collateral. Also, pDAI could have up to 115 billion backing its peak. So that's the magic. That's that if you take something away, that's kind of the big deal there. What have we got the bridge at the moment? About 170 million, 160 mil in the bridge. So now you're adding another 100 there, and the leverage play on that, of course, you can get a multiplier effect, right? So incredible stuff there. pDAI, it is evolving quickly. We need to stay focused. Adding pulse hex to the vaults is one step. This happens in a few days, he reckons, on December the 3rd there. Obviously, timing is not known. Setting up the pools is happening on a chain right now, and your PUSD is growing in the PSM quickly. All are needed concurrently with the PEG. So all this action has to happen there. RH is building a stable coin that will never have DPEG events. That's a pretty bold claim, but it's going to be pretty big, right? Pretty difficult to move it off PEG. He is going to pay those that help support him. He's using the best protocols in the DeFi to form an impenetrable structure. pDAI is that stablecoin. The PEG is inevitable there. So that is his a view in research that he's done there so far. So pretty interesting things happening there. So that is a couple of stuff there. I hope you guys have enjoyed some of that coverage of pDAI. And of course, the question is, with the assets at the moment taking a little bit of a breather, as you can see in the charts, what will happen to when will it launch? When will pDAI peg it? So let's say, will it be Christmas Eve, as Arnie is possibly alluding to, or is it a step too far? Is it a step too far and unrelated? So we shall see. But wouldn't put it past Richard or to do something like that leading into Christmas, New Year. So we shall see what happens. Hope you guys enjoyed that coverage. Special fun coverage there of will pDAI peg start on Christmas Eve. And I'll probably catch you guys tomorrow for my normal show. I'm sort of doing a show every 2 days, and we'll probably cover the normal markets, pulse chain, and crypto January, Titan X, of course, all that good stuff. All right, take care. See you guys in Discord, and I will catch you on the next one, I guess. Catch you on the next one. Did you see the pDAI song? I posted it on my X, Get Pegged. Been posting RH songs, crypto songs, just put up some Christmas tracks. Merry Christmas, Merry Xmas there. Sorry, so just check my pulse. No, I didn't see that. Maybe I'll try and cover that tomorrow when I do my regular show. Hit me up on that. All right, take care, everybody, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.